Hi, I'm Rachel.
And I'm Brian. We have recently purchased a house from Equity Realty a year ago, and Julie's our realtor. We had moved down from Kentucky. I first met Julie, it had been years ago. My parents actually came down here for vacation, and they were looking at houses, and they contacted Julie to show them around some places. And I was there visiting, and was there and met Julie. And since then, we realized how good of a realtor she was. And when we finally met, and we were like, oh, well, we've always wanted to live in Florida, but we didn't know anybody in Florida, and we didn't really know the area that well. First person that popped up was Julie. I said, hey, we contacted Julie and started talking to her. And Rachel hadn't met her yet, but she talked to her over the phone. We were talking with Julie back and forth for a long time. She was sharing all kinds of information about properties. We were actually going on Equity internet site and looking at houses there. And Julie's following up with us on all the houses. And since then, we had moved down here, not having a house yet. Had some prospects and some stuff that Julie and I and that we were looking at. We got down here and we looked for another month or so, didn't we? Mm-hmm. With Julie almost every day.
We told her what we were looking for. We wanted, something to fix up, something to put our time into, something we could, kind of be proud of. And she was realistic in the fact that we told her this was our price range, this is what we were looking for, and we didn't have to go and look at houses that were out of our price range and get excited, oh, I love this, I want this, knowing that it really wasn't possible at the time. Just from watching HGTV, I find that I'm like, why are these realtors always showing these houses that are not even realistic for these people, getting their hopes up? And we didn't have to do that. We didn't have to settle for something we didn't want, and we didn't have to look at something we couldn't afford. And that was nice. I was expecting, to be persuaded, kind of like buying a car. They're like, oh, well, it has this, it has that. And they don't point out what's inside and what it doesn't have. You only see what's on the outside and what it does have. I noticed right away. I didn't have to worry about, oh, she's going to lead me in the wrong direction and tell me to buy something I really don't like. It was all our choice. We got to choose what we wanted, and that's what we did. She's very good at letting us know if she sees something that possibly we didn't see. She was always getting new listings in before we would have a chance to drive by and see them, or if they weren't listed on the website. And we were able to, through Equity's website, find a bunch of potential properties.
Yeah, we could just all of a sudden just call up and say, hey, what about this property? And they wouldn't hesitate, and they'd be right on it. And so we go look at it either that day or the next day and get into it and see it and check it out. So that was really helpful, because we were, in the meantime, we were needing a place to stay and a place to live in. So we didn't really have anybody else to rely on but Equity Realty and Julie.
I think sometimes when you get started to buy a house, you have one thing in mind, and you think, oh, this is what I want, and it's really not what you want or what you need. And I feel like I end up getting what I wanted and what I needed, not what my perception was of like a perfect first home.
Yeah, sometimes it helps to have a second or third opinion.
Yeah.
And that's what Equity Realty did for us. It wasn't too long after we closed on our house to be a purchase. 2 days later, I had this whole plan about asking Rachel to marry me. And we had a lot going on. We had just moved down here, was looking for a house, finally closed on a house, and her birthday was coming up. It was, I think, 2 days after we closed on the house. Mm-hmm. And actually her ring that I had custom made for her was in the mail, or was supposed to be in the mail. It was supposed to be arriving anytime in Fort Myers. But since we didn't have a house or anything yet, actually the only person we knew was Julie, and the only person we trusted. So
my ring.
Especially with the ring. So we had the ring sent to her house, and Julie held it there while I planned her proposal. And in the meantime, I was trying to come up with ideas, because I didn't know the area that well. And Julie actually took me to some places and was like, hey, what about this place? What about that place? So she's like, hey, what about Bowman's Beach? So we went out there, scoped out the place, looked at it. It's like, oh, this is perfect. It's kind of private. It's like, well, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. So in the meantime, with all the closing on the house, Julie's taking care of most of it for us, as well as getting things together and helping me plan for this. Julie really came in our lives a lot at that point, and became really, really good, really close friends with us. She was actually there the day of the proposal and was actually filming it.
Yeah, film the
And helping set up and everything on the beach before Rachel showed up there. So everything was set and ready to go, and I could do my thing. Oh yeah, and since then we've had a baby.
Yeah, since then we had a baby.
Yeah, so things have moved fast since we moved out here to Fort Myers.
Going to Fort Myers.
Something's in the water.
Something's in the water.
Yeah. We would definitely recommend Julie and Equity Realty to anybody who's looking for a house or who needs involvement with a realtor or has questions. They've been very trustworthy, very reliable. We have become great friends, and still today she's our realtor and helping us with any kind of questions about properties or housing that we're interested in.
Thank you, Julie, for helping us get where we are today.
So